Hello and welcome to the Akashic Women's Guide interview testimonial series. My name's Tara Preston. I'm the founder of the Akashic Women's School, creator of the Flower of Life Akashic Healing Method and the Akashic Women's Certification Guide program. And today I am here with Shelley Kitching, and Shelley is a graduate from the last cohort that we have journeyed through since January. And we're going to drop in and have a little bit of a chat and a conversation around this program and what some of her takeaways were and what her experience was of the certification. But before that, I want to give Shelley an opportunity to introduce herself and some of the beautiful work that she's doing in the world.
All right. Well, I obviously have a couple of dogs who have decided that there's another dog out there or a person, and they better protect me.
Cute.
Yes. And both of them are like, the two of them together weigh 10 pounds. So I don't know what they're protecting me from.
Oh, I love it.
But they are a joy. I'm Shelley Kitching, as Tara mentioned, and I have I've been working with the Akashic Records for the last 2 years, and I absolutely love it. I've been certified in soul realignment and now also with the Akashic Women's Guide certification. I've got level 1 and level 2, have to do my level 3, and I'm working on my advanced certification, and I'm really enjoying it all. And I can't believe it's only been since January, and it just seems like it's gone so fast.
It's gone so fast, and it felt short, and it felt long for some reason, like long in a good, I felt like rich way. But it is kind of crazy, and it's been beautiful to have you, and just beautiful to see you kind of like weaving together like both Akashic modalities, and you really stepping out with some of these new Akashic pieces, even with the Akashic circles that you've been hosting. So Shelley, what has been kind of your experience of the Akashic Women's certification program, or maybe even just some of the core pieces or teachings that really spoke to you or supported you in your business and on your path, whatever comes to you?
I think one of the things you mentioned was the Akashic circles, because I do an Akashic wisdom circle, and I'm trying to do it twice a month. And I think one of the big pieces for me was realizing that I can do this with group work, and just how it can affect so many people. Like, I've only done a couple of them so far, and the response has been wonderful. Everybody that's attended has, said how much it's, affected them or what they got out of it. And that it just makes me feel really good, which I'm sure makes you feel really good too when you're doing them. Like, just knowing that you're helping people, move forward on their path.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I do actually. Like the Flower of Life Akashic healing work is something that we get into kind of midway through the certification program. But I love group work. It's actually one of my favorite pieces, working with the Akashic in a group space. For a long, long time, I didn't know how to pull that together, or if it could even work. But I know I find that too. People come into a group space within the Akashic field and the records, and to me, it's always unbelievable, like what comes through, around messages and clearing work, and how it always touches people with such resonance. It might be slightly different, but it resonates like with everyone in such a true way. So I absolutely feel like that's like kind of like an exciting piece of the work, and how it touches people, and how powerful it is, even with the clearing work, I find. So amazing.
Yeah, and that was one of the concerns I had too. I could not figure out how to use group work with the Akashic Records. The other version I learned, which I love them both, but as we've talked about in a conversation, it was like, yes, my original way of learning is very linear, which works really well for me because I'm a very linear, step A, step B, step C type of person. And that really speaks to me. But trying to do that in a group work, and the way you've done it is just, it is very much more flowy. It's easier. I hadn't worked with the Akashic field before, and that has just opened up so much. I absolutely love it for myself. I am now using it every morning.
I was just going to ask you, because I know that's a piece for a lot of the women too. Like they start to drop into and utilize the Akashic field and the Akashic records. as a daily practice, and not everyone, maybe it's like 1 or 2 times a week, but as a daily practice, a lot of women that I've talked to, they've really integrated that. Yeah, just share a little bit about how that supported you.
It's been really great with really trying to embody who I am at soul level.
Yeah.
Because that's a
Yeah.
key piece to me in my own progress, or
Mm-hmm.
my own pathway. I suffered
Mm-hmm.
I suffered from depression for many years, and it wasn't until I understood who I was at soul level that I actually managed to work from depression into actually knowing what happiness felt like. And so just to keep trying to make sure that I stay in touch with that, to work with how can I be working from my soul's purpose? How can I be working authentically as I am at a soul level?
Yeah.
I find that going into the Akashic field every day,
Mm-hmm.
may take weekends off, but I'm trying to do it every
Mm-hmm.
day
For
because
sure.
I'm living every day. So it's just
Yeah.
more of a,
Just the clarity and the alignment. And I find sometimes too with that practice, sometimes the insights are small, but that's okay. It's like it's a little piece of clarity, something that will move me forward. And other times I might sit down with it and I might be just like, that was so big what I just untangled or what I just figured out. But I find that it is such a beautiful like alignment tool and a sacred space to drop into, which is, it's a nurturing piece for us on our path, and especially, as space holders for other people. I want to touch into this piece around depression, because I know that this is, I've definitely journeying with women over the years through the Akashic records and doing soul level work. I have seen the connection between, authenticity and soul level work, and ways that we can heal and shift from depression. But I would just be curious, just for you to share a little bit of what you started to uncover in your journey, and how the Akashic records began to meet you there, because I think that might speak to a lot of women.
yeah, sure. Um, it's interesting because today I, got another piece that just kind of went, oh, all right, really. So really, I found that I spent my entire life, and I mean, I knew I was trying to be somebody else my entire life because I was always trying to fit in. And in that journey, I lost who I was. Like, if you asked me who I was, I could tell you nothing. I didn't know who I liked, what I liked, how I fit in. I was just like, depends on who I'm with as to how I act or how I relate to people. And when I really started looking for a spiritual solution and digging through things and finally coming across the Akashic records and realizing that my soul showed up with a purpose, and then understanding who I was and what my purpose was. And I realized how nothing I'd been doing in my life, like my career, I totally understood why it was frustrating me, why I could never really feel like this is where I belong, because I wasn't doing anything in alignment with who I was. I was doing things that would help fit into society. The interesting piece that I discovered today is something that people may or may not relate to or get, but I realized that for me, my depression, and it was really severe at times, it was a way of escaping my life.
It was a way of, I missed that last piece.
Escaping my life.
Oh, gotcha.
And I
Yes.
didn't realize it at the time, but it gave me an excuse not to be able to work, not to have to deal with a job I'm not liking, not having to go out in public and try to be nice to people or relate to people. And I never really, I knew there was, those were all symptoms of depression, and they are all symptoms. But realizing that it also was an excuse not to. And I kind of realized too, like there was times where it's like, oh, well, wait, I'm still kind of depressed. So I can say, no, I can't go to this, outing with the people, or no, I can get out of this because of that. And I think that can also be a crutch that people with depression can stumble into because they're so used to depression is defining their life. That
absolutely. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think too, the Akashic records are really beautiful. And we've maybe touched on this before too, but there's a couple pieces in what you're saying. Absolutely. Like, it's like the desire to like participate in life. And two, because we feel like we have something to offer, where because we're connected to self, we start to feel full from the inside out. We start to, and that's one of the key pieces with the Akashic Women's certification. It is actually about how to support ourselves and our clients to connect deeply within, to listen. And we all come from varied backgrounds, right? With often different understandings, but to be able to identify, what we want, who we are, what we desire, on top of being able to clear out what no longer serves us. But I find too, when it comes to the level of soul, it's that deeper sense of like fulfillment. And when we have that connection and that inner sense of fulfillment, we know and trust that we also have something to offer.
Yeah.
And the other piece with this too, which I think you're touching in on, is kind of like, it's a release of the old self, right? Those pieces that we sometimes get tangled up in terms of our old way of understanding and relating to ourselves, like our old self-image, which is so instrumental with women when they are walking this path and when we're reinventing our lives. And where I find the Akashic records are really brilliant at being able to like, hey, this piece doesn't actually serve you. It's old. We're going to get to the root of why it's there. And oftentimes that's past lifetime. Sometimes it's more childhood.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's ancestral, but then we're going to clear it once and for all and illuminate more truth. So this, and I thank you for bringing that forward. I can see how it's so powerful. Yeah. Absolutely.
It really is. And one of the key pieces from your Akashic Women's Guide and your way of working with the records is it's really, as you describe it, it's much more of a flow. It is much easier to access, to just kind of pop in and out, and not feel like I've got to be super focused and going through step A, step B, step C. So I'm really enjoying being able to just pop in and then pop back out. And doing
I love that.
Clients, it's easy. I think it's easier for clients as well, because they can, I can take them into the Akashic field.
Yes. I have done whole sessions just in the Akashic field. So sometimes for some reason, maybe it's just me, but I feel like maybe we underestimate sometimes just the power and the simplicity of the Akashic field. But I've done entire sessions where there's been enormous breakthroughs and clarity, just working in the Akashic field. So it is an exciting kind of dimension and layer to the work. I agree.
It is. It really is.
Beautiful. Awesome, Shelley. So we'll make sure, if you're interested in Shelley's work, I'm going to make sure that we have access to her socials and any other information for you to contact her. And thank you so much, Shelley, for popping on with me today.
Well, thank you so much for your amazing course. It's been wonderful. And it's been great working with you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Bye.